Welcome. My name is Sharon Tinberg. I have the support center, Rags to Riches. And I have two websites, successmadeeasy.com and cleaningmadeeasyapp.com. Thank you for joining me today for a short message on a value that turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders, who in turn employees who want to walk into employees who come into you to talk. Today's value is, and today's message is, don't judge, support. So there is a judge admonishing their witness, saying, "Sir, do you remember that you swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?" "Yes, ma'am, I do," replied the witness. "Well, sir, do you know what happens to people who do not tell the truth?" "Yes, ma'am, I sure do. My side wins." I have to ask you, do you have employees who will say anything, do anything, has nothing to do with the truth, or maybe it does have to do with the truth, whatever it takes to keep themselves out of trouble? Why would they do that? Is it perhaps because you shoot the messenger? The words and actions that you use to react to an employee's words and actions are so powerful. They can encourage or they can discourage. They can build up or they can tear down. They can build self-esteem or they can cause an employee to walk. They can have a major impact on self-discipline and coincidentally on the growth of your company. In the heat of the moment, owners simply don't stop to think about the impact that their words and their actions have on their employees. This has happened, unfortunately, probably in my office, and certainly most recently I have observed it in many offices that I have coached in. And that is the typical Monday morning happening. You have maybe a team of 3 people or you have a team of 2 people, but you're sitting with at least one of those employees in your office waiting to hear from their partner. You don't hear, you're starting to make provisions, make other arrangements as you are talking about this employee, saying, "Wow, I can't believe she hasn't called. That's really, wow, that's kind of rude when it comes right down to it." And you make some negative comments about the actions of the employee who hasn't called in yet. Of course, you have no idea why they have not called. When they do finally call, you pick up the phone and you say, "Hi, how you doing? What's going on?" And they say they're sick, they just woke up. You're saying, "Why are you coming in?" And they're saying no, and you go, "Okay, well, let me know how you do." You hang up and you go, "Oh my God, I can't believe she waited that long to call. If she's sick, she can't be that sick," blah, 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 blah. While the other employee or 2 employees are sitting in your office listening to all this. The impact of those statements on those employees is not drawing you and bonding you together because you're not on the same level. You are an owner. You set the tone. The employees follow it and think about how that tone will someday impact them. During this conversation, you have had a lack of respect for the employee on the phone because you don't know how sick they are. Secondly, you've been very judgmental because, again, you're judging whether or not they were sick. You have been critical that they didn't call earlier in the day. And worst of all, you've been very negative. You've set the tone for the cleaners who are there for the rest of their day. What should you have done? I would say as soon as that employee is not there at the time they should have left, if you have not heard from that employee, call them. If you cannot reach them, send that team or that solo on their way. Let them get started in a positive way. And your final words should be, "Hey, if I have to go out there myself, you'll have help within an hour. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And do exactly what you say you're going to do. When you allow your employees to sit in your office and listen to these negative words, this judgmental character you can have, this lack of respect for the other employee, you are poisoning your future. And you're poisoning the future of that employee. What do you think is going to happen next Monday when they wake up sick? Do you think they're going to look forward to calling you? That might be the day they go, you know what, I'm just going to quit that job because I can't do this. I can't call and tell her I'm sick because she's never going to believe it. Those words poisoned your future. The better way to have handled that would have been saying, as I said, get those employees out of there. Let them start their day. It's not their problem, it's yours. Fix it. Or if the employee calls while they're still there and you're trying to get them out of there, say to that employee, gosh, thank you so much for calling. We were wondering where you were. I'll give you a call in 30 minutes so we can see how you're feeling when I get the team out of here and rolling. Thanks again. Bye. They hear that and they feel you're supportive. When you call them back, you can blast them, but certainly not in front of these employees. The power of words and that moment of knee-jerk reaction or the need to have somebody support you in your belief that this employee is rude is poisoning your future. Another example of the power of words and how you can use them to either reinforce positive behavior or use them to make poor behavior even worse would be the doctor's appointment. The employee, the cleaner who comes into your office and says, just want to let you know I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. And you go, what? How long have you known about this? So the employee will hopefully say, I just made it, to which you're going to say, and you didn't check with me first about what would be a good day? Or they're going to say, I knew it a week ago, but I forgot to tell you. Either way, you're on a slippery slope. The better response would have been, gosh, thanks for telling me. Any notice is so greatly appreciated. Let me check, see if you have the date coming. Sure enough, you do. Again, thanks for telling me. If you get any notice of any future doctor's appointments, if you could let me know a week ahead of time, it would be great. But like I said, thanks. Good luck tomorrow. Leaves them with a good feeling. The final thing you said was thanks. You were upbeat. You know what? You might get a week next time. But if you go down that slippery slope, you might find that that employee will go on that doctor's appointment and not even come back to work the day after. Or the next time they have to tell you, because they don't want to get beat up, they'll tell you the morning of. What is important to remember as a leader whenever you are imparting words on your employees is you need to be positive. Remember, the rule of leadership is when you have 2 or more of your followers around you and you are not behind the closed doors, that you are positive. The better way to have handled this scenario was if the employee called up while the 2 employees were still in your office and you said what I said, which was, I'll call you back in 30 minutes, you needed to hang up that phone and say, poor thing, she really seems to get sick a lot. We need to pray for her. And meanwhile, I'll do the best I can to make sure that it doesn't impact your lives too much with stress. So let me help you get out of here so you can get your day started. You left them feeling positive. When they walked out of there, they felt good about the fact that they worked for an employee who cared about somebody who was sick in case they're ever sick and cared about them. But then you need to fix the problem. You can't let that absenteeism affect their stress and their day. If you don't have policies in place with stringent absenteeism policies, I suggest you get them and you learn to manage them. That you lead people to want to come to work so they don't have any problems falling within your guidelines. But if they do, don't let them work there anymore. because you can't be the leader you need to be. Remember, your job as a leader is to never give others cause for giving up. So you have to fix the problem of absenteeism. You have to make sure that you follow through on what you told those two employees or that solo, that you will indeed fix this problem. And then use that policy to fix it. Don't use condemning words and hurtful words, and don't be critical. Then it is what it is. If they went over the policies, you checked it, they don't have the day coming, you proceed with termination, assuming you've already done the verbal and the written. But what you don't want to do is leave that other people in the room hearing you, again, condemning, being critical. You don't want to say to this person who gave you 1 day notice, who has the day coming, I can't believe you only gave me 1 day notice. That is critical. That person is going to leave your office going, ha, you thought 1 day was bad. Again, I'm not going to give you any next time. And you had that coming. So negative words reap negative response. So positive words reap positive response. You really do reap what you sow. Cleaning companies often talk about quality control, but the power of words quality control starts in your office. And I believe that there are two things that you must control from the start if you want a quality life and a quality business. You want a business that is looked at with values that are impeccable. You need to stop two things the first day they start, and that is lies and gossip. And again, that starts with you, the owner. What you say to an employee, is it always the truth? If you tell the first employee you hire that they're going to be your first manager because you're overwhelmed with them, and then you get to your fourth employee and they make that first employee look like they don't have a clue what they're doing, are you going to stick to your word and make that first employee the manager and not make the fourth employee the manager, who will probably walk when they realize that there's far more talent than the first employee? Remember the power of your words. Don't say anything to anybody until you're ready to move, or you're telling a lie. You might not look at it like that, but it is. You told them it's something that's not the truth, and if an employee did that, you wouldn't let them justify it by, well, something better came along. That's what happens when they quit their job. And they said to you, I'll be with you forever. And 3 months later, they're quitting, and your feelings are hurt. Perhaps you set the pace. Remember the power of your words and the values that your words set within your company regarding lies. And the last thing I would like to cover today is the power of the words of gossip. If someone comes into your office, closes the door and said, I need to share something with you, but I don't want you to tell the person how you heard it, you need to stop them right there and say, I cannot guarantee that to you. I'm assuming that you're coming into my office because you want a problem fixed. If this person asks me how I know it's a problem, in order to have credibility, I might need to bring you into the picture. So my question is, how badly do you want the problem fixed, or are you just bringing me gossip? You want me to hear something, but you don't want me to fix it. And then be quiet and see what they say. It won't take more than 3 or 4 of those conversations with different people, and pretty soon the rumor mill will stop. But if when anybody has something big enough to bring to you that they feel it needs fixed, if you fix it, I can guarantee you they will keep bringing you problems. But don't start a rumor mill. Don't let your office be a garbage can for all the gossip, all the gripes, all the whining, anything anybody wants to dump in your office. That's not what you're there for. You're there to lead not to provide them with a manure spreader or a rumor spreader. My dad was a farmer. We called what you're hearing from them what we put into a manure spreader. It's the same thing. Stop it before it begins. Remember the power of gossip. It can tear your company in two, and there was nothing true in the first place. So, with that, I leave you with, I hope, a few ideas that will help you bust your attrition in half. Because if you don't have to fire and they don't walk, then you don't need to hire, and that solves your recruiting problem. Remember the power of your words. You can build a company or you can tear it down. Please visit one of my 2 websites. If you like the ideas I brought forward today, you might be interested in Business in a Box, Do It Yourself, where you'll get about 50 hours of video and ideas from hiring to cleaning process to the game changer, all in one package. Until next time, have a great week and remember the power of your words.